Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of the Highly Motivated Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing something I heard yesterday from my band director that reminded me of something I've seen before. But we are also going to be talking about working motivation with teams or helping others, and also personal motivation. But I am also going to be alone in this episode. Yes, the prior episodes that I have just recorded have been with other people. This one is going to be just me. So stay tuned, keep listening. Thank you for tuning in. Alright, so with what I said, so my band director yesterday said practice does not, so he said the terms of practice doesn't always make perfect or something similar to that. So what I said was more so practice makes permanent, but perfect practice makes perfect. But I also said, because there is that ideal of a practice makes perfect, and everybody says that a lot. Majority of times it's practice makes perfect, when truly if you're practicing the wrong thing, you could be wrong, you could be absolutely wrong and actually be bad. But at the same time, the more you practice and the more you work towards it, practicing it and seeing what you're doing wrong or seeing how you're doing wrong and changing it and trying to change it to be right, that is more so the type of practice that will make you perfect. So I get some people have the ideal of, I'll just keep practicing, I'll just keep working on it. Don't beat yourself up for it, because maybe you are practicing it perfectly, but somebody else has a different way of practicing. So that's with the motivation with others or teams or with other people. So with that, you have to make sure you can be lenient or flexible rather. So with the flexibility, I'm talking about being able to change your ways or change so you can adjust to help them or just so they can help you. So with the music aspect, it's not always working with practicing the music and making the music perfect to be able to play. It's also practicing the music and practicing it to make it sound the right way, but it's also practicing the notes, practicing the rhythms, practicing scales, practicing everything. The same goes for sports. Say basketball. If you're shooting wrong, say you're shooting with a bad arc or a bad jump, and you're shooting not horribly, but bad. You keep hitting the rim, you keep missing, you keep airballing. Maybe you could ask someone for help. Maybe you could try to change it to where you're shooting properly, wrist and stuff. But what I want to get at is the fact that just because what you think is right isn't always what's gonna help you. It's what's gonna make you feel better, yes, but will it help you? Not all the time. Will you feel like you're getting better if you were say you were cooking and every time you made it looked bad but tasted good? Would you say you're a good chef? No. Would you say you're a good cook? Maybe. But that's not always the case, because you're you want to practice how you want to work towards how to get it to where it looks good and tastes good, not just one over the other. So I've watched an anime or Japanese animation, and so one of the main character, he never gave up. Like, even after losing to his own father like 50 or 90 something times, he never gave up. He kept pushing. Like, he didn't let himself. He literally didn't give up. When other people, they would give up. Like, oh, they were beat like multiple times, they would give up or they would back down from trying harder. But this character never gave up, and his father noticed that as well, and like that's what he liked about his son. Like, his son did not like losing, but his son didn't take losing as a bad thing, like as he should stop. He took losing as, like, the main character took losing as a sign of, like, as a thing to show him that he needs to improve, needs to be better. So he's like, he takes in all the criticism, every little bit of it, which, even if it was good, even if it was bad, he took it all in. Both good and bad criticism is needed for motivation, for even improvement, both good and bad. But negatively saying it, like saying like, oh, you should just give up or something like that, that's not right. Like, literally, more so. So my coach, so I play lacrosse, right? I play lacrosse, and my coach, we were doing conditioning, which we had to do a lot of running. My coach was like, because I don't know if he noticed me that I wanted to be a leader, but like, he said, how are you going to be a leader of this team if you can't do this? Like, how are you going to be a leader of this team if you can't put your 100%? So that literally boosted me all the way. It wasn't him saying, oh, you're not going to be a leader of the team if you're not giving your all. He's more so, how are you going to, if you're not giving your all? How are you going to lead others? So literally, I took that in my mind because I want to be a leader. I love being a leader. That's like my number one goal, is to lead. Like, my big thing from personally is leading others. Like, I don't care if it's a leadership title or just being a leader in general, even without a title. I still like to be a leader. So the coach said that, and I literally I hauled my butt up. Like, I hauled my butt and I ran. I gave 100%, even if I was gonna throw up. So another one of the coaches, mainly the one that was mainly the one that was running the conditioning, he was like, so the drill we were doing was made to make you puke. It was made to make us puke. And the coach said something about a book about a guy who literally, I don't know if it was biking or running, but I believe it was running. And a guy who barely trained at maybe 7 miles the week before or something. And he ran, I don't know how many miles or kilometers, but he ran a lot and ended up basically having he was basically so he was pooping his pants and throwing up and stuff like that. I believe he was basically having all that, basically everything bad that would happen with your body. Basically he was doing that, but he still went, he still kept running. And the lesson out of that was that you need to keep going even if it hurts. You're not going to get better unless you keep trying and keep trying to improve. It's just like working out and lifting weights and all that. It's just like that. Say you're lifting 10 pounds, you're not going to improve that much. Yes, the reps might help. You keep going even if it hurts. If you're lifting let's just say 20 pounds. You're lifting 20 pounds and you only do 5 reps and that hurts. Like you're doing curls, and you only do 5 reps and that hurts and you just stop. No. It's the same with push-ups. Say you can only do 20 push-ups and you stop there. You don't push yourself farther. That's not going to help you improve. If your goal is to get to 100 push-ups, you push further until it literally hurts your entire body to continue to go on, until it literally makes you fall. Basically, the point I'm getting at is until it literally makes you stop, don't stop. Even when, this is also for any type of motivation, for any type of thing. This is motivation for any type of thing. If this will work for a job too. If your goal in the work in employment is to be a CEO or a manager or a boss or anything like that, or a store owner, you keep going. Say you're working at a restaurant. Say you're working at a decent restaurant. You'll start as maybe a dishwasher, and then you'll move up to maybe busboy or bus person. You bus the tables, and then maybe you get to cashier or a hostess, or or to the host, and then maybe you move up to being cooking, or maybe waiter or something like that. And then maybe chef, kitchen work, and then maybe you get up to being store owner or manager for any position, anything like that. I'm saying keep pushing through the hardships. Even if you're even if you can't handle it anymore, keep going. Say you're trying to get this, but say you're you're actually trying to make yourself better. You're running every day. No, granted, yes, that's healthy, but you're running every day, but you're still not getting better. You need to to test yourself, up that. On one time, test if you've improved. If you haven't improved to where you want to, keep going. This will work with anything, in school. So my friend, Justin, you guys met Justin a while ago. Justin, he asked me for some motivation for a math test. I said these exact words. I'm pulling it up, and I'm assuming he really liked it, but I said that he was so smart that he can do it. Literally, this goes for anybody. You can do it. You will be able to overcome the little roadblock on your path to success that at that point for him was the test, and that you will succeed in all your endeavors. If you keep pushing and going and try your hardest, you will succeed. If you give up halfway through, nothing will happen. You will not get anything. Nothing will get achieved. So I'm trying to say that you need to keep pushing even if it hurts. Even if you feel like giving up, keep going, because in the end you will get what you are working so hard to get. Say you're trying to save up money, you work at a decent paying job, minimum wage job. You get paid minimum wage and you want a car. So you're going to save up your money, right? So that even if you have to spend a little bit here and then, you're still going to work. Even if what you do for a job frustrates you, stresses you out, anything, if you do anything that stresses you out, your main goal is to be able to afford that car, to be able to buy that car someday. So you're gonna keep pushing, even though you're frustrated, even though you're stressed, even though you want to cry. You're gonna keep pushing because you see that bigger goal. Like, say you want to someday buy a house. You're gonna keep working, even if you're stressed. You're gonna keep working. It's not gonna be anything like you giving up. You won't give up if you have the biggest incentive of like a car or like a house. But what about the small incentives like graduating or being able to afford for college or anything like that? Those, yes, they are smaller than a car and a house maybe, but still college is a lot of money. But still, literally, if you like, say you're trying to pay to be able to buy school supplies, or maybe you're trying to help your family, mainly with the like, if people work because their family needs the money, then they're trying to keep their family afloat. They're trying to keep a roof over their heads. That is a huge incentive. But with the school stuff, with the school incentives, that's not as that's not the biggest thing people think about when they're working or something like that. They think about things with monetary value rather than educational value. But a lot of times, those small things, you need to make sure you stay on those. Say you want to, like me, or something in the entertainment field, you want to make a podcast or improve a podcast or make music or improve your music, make production situation, or record videos, but you don't have the right tools or you don't have the right equipment to do such. With what I'm talking about, you won't necessarily keep those goals in mind if you have basic things like I do. You won't be thinking about those all the time, but you need to keep them in mind. And so I have sponsored segments, right? I have ads. So with these ads, it's to help me make money from this. It's to help gain money and get paid with this. So with this, I have to make more episodes, and even though I haven't made much recently, I need to consistently make episodes so I can get paid more consistently, so I can have more, so I can end up getting more of an audience, more of a fan base, more of that. So once you have if you have that monetary goal, if you have that monetary incentive, that's good. But if you have just a personal incentive of something you like to do, say you want to keep doing something but you can't, you're really demotivated, you just have to focus on why do you do it? Do you love it? Why do you do something? I love doing music. I love doing anything related to music, but sometimes I feel myself being so demotivated that I don't even want to do something I love, or be around something I love to do or love to have around me. And then I focus on why do I have it? Why do I do it? Why do I take it? And then I go and either I make music, play music, I do any of it. So the biggest thing is take a second. If you're feeling down, demotivated about anything, especially things you like to do, ask yourself why you do them. Ask yourself why you're doing something. Now, let's get on to the topic of working with teams. So you're with a band, like bands, lacrosse, soccer, sports, anything, drama, like anything like that. You're working with a team. So with band, you have to be like working together to play a song piece or anything properly to make it sound like what it's trying to sound like. So with lacrosse, you have to work with a team in order to get a goal. With soccer, same thing. With any sport, it's the same thing. You're working as a team, unless it's a one-person sport, but we're not getting into that. But let's go with theater. You have to work with other people in order to make a play happen, like in order to make a play fun, funny, like whatever, scary, sad, like anything like that. But like you're working with a team, so if you see someone on your team demotivated, you can go over, ask them what's going on, or you can go over and motivate them, like how I did with Justin. Or if you're feeling demotivated, this is a thing I need to do personally myself, is you can ask people on your team or just in your friend group or anything like that to help you, for help, or anything like that. You can definitely ask other people, especially on your teams, for help. You can definitely ask anybody around you for help. Like a lot of times I would like talk to some of my friends about like what's going on, like I might talk to them about maybe I'm demotivated to do something, or maybe I don't like the people that are doing a certain thing with me, or that have to do something with me, or that I have to be around. So that demotivates me. So I talk about it. But with that, there's a team aspect. There's a team aspect of like being around other people. You want to be around other people sometimes to help you. And especially being around other people in a team manner. Like you're working as a crew member at, say, a fast food restaurant, and you personally aren't getting anything done because no one else is helping you, no one else is around you. Yes, I understand there are people that work better alone, but say you work better with like other people. So you are working and you are trying to get stuff done, but you have trouble staying on task, or you have trouble getting work started. So you would try to, like, if a team member like if someone on the crew member, like someone else, another employee is there and notices you're having struggles getting work started, you might go over to them and ask them, like not you, but they might come over to you, or you could go over to them and ask them for help, but they might come over to you and ask and like get you to help. Like they might start doing it and they might get you to help them. But let's talk about, like, say you're out with some friends. Your friends are technically your team. They're your team. So like you're out with friends, but like you see someone like that's not having fun. You would want your friends to have fun, like that. Like you don't want your friends to be not having fun, especially if they're out with you or like with other friends in a friend group. So you would try to like ask them what's going on or stuff like that, but like you wouldn't want yourself to not be having fun and want to leave. So you personally would take that internal sympathy and like ask them what's going on. You would have sympathy or empathy. I always get those mixed up, but you still have sympathy for them. So with the team motivation, like you always, especially when it's with friends, a lot of times, if friends can trust you, if friends trust you a lot, they will they will tell you their goals, and they will talk to you about your goals and things. They will discuss their personal desires and goals, and like both long-term and short-term goals. So you would take that and you would boost them up. Like, say you see them, like, say they call you and say they're really upset, but like they have to get stuff done. Say they have late homework and they text you that they have late homework or stuff like that. You motivate them, but using their goals, or like say like they don't want to, say they want to be very healthy, very muscular, and basically bodybuilder body. But they feel like, but they are demotivated to work out, to go to the gym, or anything like that. You will tell them and remind them. You should remind them of their biggest goals. So you want to boost up the people around you, especially your friends, especially your teammates, because if your teammates aren't motivated to if your teammates are not motivated to do the work, or do what they do what you're there to do, then you guys will not work together to get things done. Nothing will get done properly if you don't motivate others, and if you don't look for motivation from your teammates. So you want to motivate the people around you so you can get things done, so you can also even get what you want finished, or get the goal get the goal in the end. So that's all I have to say for this episode. Thank you for listening. Hope you were motivated, and please stay tuned and stick around for the next one.